What is good, YouTube? It's that one camera guy here, back at it again with another video. I just got done I've spent about 2 hours just taking pictures. A7R2, Alpha 6300, 5D Mark III, 5D Mark IV, and I'm trying to do some comparisons. Right now, this video is just comparing the 5D Mark III versus the 5D Mark IV in terms of its high ISO images. Let me go ahead and show you kind of the setup that I did. So my setup here was pretty simple. I had this setup here. I was changing the ISO values there so you could see it in the photos. I got a couple things here. This is not the best setup in the world. And then I had my I had this light, this Policy Buff light softbox hitting this source right here. So I had that all set up and everything. So that was the setup that I had. And here it is right now. So you can see, as I'm looking, this is the 5D Mark III, 5D Mark IV. I'm gonna be showing this on the actual video, so I'm gonna be overlaying this for you. All right, so you're gonna get kind of the first impression that I get just looking at the files, and I'm kind of going over which files look better, the 5D Mark III or 5D Mark IV, and where the 5D Mark IV begins to pull away. A couple things to let you know. These are not RAW files, these are just JPEGs. Since there's no RAW converter yet for the 5D Mark IV, I can't really compare it accurately, or I don't want to do that because it's not fair. It's not a fair comparison. So what I'm gonna do is just compare JPEGs, and we're gonna take a look at that right now. So let's go ahead and take a look. So you're getting kind of my first impression on this. I'm gonna kind of jump to ISO 800 because that's where I think things will start to change. And I'm gonna go ahead and go one-to-one on the images. At about 800 ISO, I'm already noticing that extra resolution on the 5D Mark IV is making such a big difference in the overall quality of the image. I'm noticing in terms of just the file sizes that what I'm noticing right now in terms of just the performance, it just looks cleaner on the 5D Mark IV at ISO 800. It just looks much cleaner. Again, these are not the most scientific tests in the world because this is not something that I do on a daily basis. But even at 1600 ISO, the 5D Mark IV looks much cleaner, less noise, and this is again just kind of a visual representation of what I'm getting. I'm gonna go ahead and jump up to 6400 ISO and compare to 6400 ISO on the 5D Mark III. Comparing the two, when I go one-to-one on them, obviously the 5D Mark IV is gonna have a much bigger file, or the zoom, and the 5D Mark III it's just not there. The 5D Mark IV is definitely much better than the 5D Mark III. It's noticeable. It is very noticeable. From far away, when you're not at one-to-one, you probably would never be able to tell. But if you do go one-to-one, if you do pixel peep, you can definitely see the difference. I would say, based on just looking at this, noise-wise, I would say that the 5D Mark IV is, I don't know, just my impression, and you can look at this on your own. I think it's like at least maybe 2/3 to a stop better in the JPEGs. I'm looking at the noise in the background in the image, and I'm thinking it's around 2/3 of a stop. I'm looking at ISO 4000, comparing it to 6400, and they look pretty similar in terms of noise in the actual images, how it's being processed. I turned off ISO noise reduction for the JPEG on both of these cameras. Let's go ahead and jump to, I don't know, 12,800. Let's just see what happens there. 12,800, 5D Mark IV is doing well. 5D Mark III is starting to crumble. There's a lot of detail left on the 5D Mark IV. There's still a lot of detail there. Let's go to 16,000 for both. And that's it. I think 16,000 on the 5D Mark III, the file's crumbling. The colors are gone. It's not detail. You're losing a lot of detail. It's just not doing very well at 16,000 ISO. 5D Mark IV is holding up very, very well. This is insane. I think, I'm not saying insane, but I'm just saying in terms of its performance, I would look and compare maybe ISO 10,000 to ISO 16,000 on the 5D Mark III. So that's 1, 2. That's again 2/3 of a stop improvement in performance Let's go up to 25,600, which is kind of at the upper ends of these cameras. And the 5D Mark IV JPEG is holding up. I don't know what Canon figured out, but the 5D Mark IV, the colors are still there. The detail is still there. It's holding up at 25,600 when you compare it to the 5D Mark III. Okay, well there you have it, folks. That is the 5D Mark III versus the 5D Mark IV high ISO test. I will have these posted on my website at thatonecameraguy.com for you to be able to compare yourself to your heart's content. Folks, if you found this video helpful, consider giving it a like. I'd really appreciate it. And if you do want to see more content like this, consider subscribing. And with that said, I'm your host, That One Camera Guy, and I'll catch you on the next video. Bye.